Welcome back, baseball fans. The 1972 Winter Baseball Classic Tournament tonight. We are in another loser's bracket battle tonight. We have something going between Halifax and Rhode Island. They are in the East bracket regionally. We can take a look at brackets again. These are just fictional teams. Put them in towns across America and Canada. The Eastern region, green, or basically they're color coded more than anything else. The green region plus one other team. Coney Island, Rhode Island, Halifax, Nova Scotia, and Vancouver Island became the Island Division through relocation and so forth. But anyway, Vancouver won both their rounds of 7, rounds of 5. So they got a bye. And Coney Island is in a round of 3. And tonight we got Rhode Island and Halifax. The winner advances to the round of 3. The loser goes home. We are eliminating these Winter Baseball Classic teams. We can take a look here at the players from each of the team here, just to get some idea of what's going on with these squads. They're comprised, of course, of free agents from all over, plus keepers, waivers, and so forth. We'll look at Halifax first here. And Halifax has a couple guys who have future cards in the league, Daryl Cheney and Wayne Twitchell. But they also have this huge block of this blue color keeper. These guys are all, their cards are all up because they were all played out in their 71. So we have to decide between 72 to 75. This is a nice long list. McCarver, Lee May, important moves, Lee May, yeah. Walt Williams, Stevie Ray Braun, Fred Patek, Knowles, Dave McNally, who was traded in the offseason to the Expos, Steve Blass from the world champion Pirates, traded to Boston. It's got to be that card. It's his last good year. Retired player Mike Andrews. These 4 guys on waivers, and we're critically analyzing them to see if, they're worth picking up in the draft. And lastly, these uncolored ones here are actual free agents who have never played in the league yet. Paul Jada, Larry Bittner, Bill Bonham. And then for your Rhode Island team, which sometimes resemble pieces from the Red Sox, if we can get them there, because of regional, Dunkin' Donuts territory there. They got a bunch of guys, which is not very good, that already have cards in the Summer League, 6 of them. So you're not going to learn anything because we're not going to use these cards because the cards you have in the Summer League are much better. They include Jerry Grody, Campaneris, Dick McAuliffe, Tommy Harper, Carl Yastrzemski, and Pete Rose. Yeah, they're great players. I'm not disputing that. But these are lesser quality cards for them, and they don't really serve much purpose other than to fill out a roster. Evaluation is the next group, of course, your keepers. Rico Petrocelli, Tom Murphy, Steve Mangori, Danny Frizella, Frank Lindsay, Paul Splittorff, Skip Lockwood. Again, 4 more waivered guys here, and then the 3. Jerry Moses was in the league a few years ago, missed it last year. Tom Phoebe was in the league like 2 years ago, same with Jim Harden with the 69 Orioles, I believe. That's kind of what the rosters look like here for the Winter Baseball Classic round. And we are going to do a Game 3 of this. And unfortunately, Rhode Island lost the first 2 games in Halifax. So they need to win today or they will be eliminated. They need to win this day, tomorrow, and then a Game 5 returning back to Nova Scotia. And that winner of a Game 5 advances to the next round. So with that, we'll get started here. Leading off for Halifax is Mike Andrews. Before we do this, let me announce the pitchers. Battle of lefties and battle of important lefties. Halifax sends Dave McNally out there. Baltimore traded McNally this offseason to the Expos in a big deal to get Kenny Singleton. But the Expos get a much younger McNally, potentially. They can get the 72, 73, or 74 version. In 72, he had a 2.95 ERA. So the idea is the 2 teams just decided to make the deal sooner than later. And for the Rhode Island squad, they have Paul Splittorff. He's got some nice years coming up in 73 and in 75, I believe. He's got a 3.13 ERA with a 72 card. Battle lefties, McNally, Splittorff. So leading off, second baseman Mike Andrews, and he strikes out. Fred Patek, 47 again, another strikeout. And Walt Williams, 3 straight 4-7s, all in different combinations. And 3 straight strikeouts. Can't ask for a better inning for Mr. Splittorff. We'll call that the immaculate inning. Why not, right? We don't really know what the counts were. Let's just say it was, since it was all in 4-7. Ron Swoboda leads off for Rhode Island. 4-10 is a catcher's X. Jeta is your catcher, the dreaded 40-16 when he makes the play. Campaneris, 4-9, 5th straight 9, base hit. Double A Steeler going to take off, and he's going to be, let's see, he's going to be in there on the +2 arm. Pete Rose, 54, 3rd X. This is Mr. Stevie Ray Braun, a 3E20 at 3rd. That's going to be an error. Runners in the corners for Tommy Harper. 56, flies to left, sac fly. And with 2 outs with a run in, it's Yastrzemski, base hit center. 2 on for Brett Petroselli. 69, double one, single not done. And the Rhode Island team that desperately needs a win has a nice first inning. Still going here. 2 in, 2 on, 2 outs. Jerry Grody, he lines the short. All right, top of second. Ron Woods, 1-3, bounces to 3rd. Tim McCarver, 43. Pitcher X, Splittorff, it's an E0. Don't roll E0 pitchers if they're at home. Lee May, 44, he strikes out. Bottom of 2, Johnny Jeter, 45 Ks. Hal Lanier, 45 Ks. And Ron Swoboda, 52, short X. Shortstop is Mr. Patek Philippe, 227 shortstop, and he makes the play. Not going to show cards during the game, as this is an elimination game. I will show you 20 cards at the end of the video for the team that ends up losing, whether it's after this game or if Rhode Island rallies after game 5, and it'll be Halifax's team I'll show you. So we'll give you that at the end of the video. I'm not going to slow the game down by showing cards at this point. Stevie Ray Braun, 38 for Braun is a walk. Tovar, 2-5, fielder's choice. Ace Steeler going to take off, and he is going to be out stealing by Jerry Grody's nice arm there, and unfortunately cut down. Paul Jada, 4-10, homer 1-2, double the rest, 2 base hit. Back up top to Mike Andrews, 2-7 is a strikeout. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's Campaneris, 58, 2nd X. Andrews, a 4-22, base hit. Pete Rose, 65, center. Tommy Harper, 210, center. And Yastrzemski, 1-7 is a K. Yastrzemski and Rose, teammates here, played a combined 2,000 years in Major League Baseball. That's how old they were. Older than Methuselah. The combined ages of Pete Rose and Yastrzemski in their tenures in Major League Baseball. My goodness. Now, they probably combined for, if I had to guess, and you could look this up in the comments section, but I would have to guess, the time their careers ended, they were combined 86 years old, is my guess. No, wait a minute. No, hold on one second. 87. I'm going to say they were combined 87 years old when they hung up their cleats. So there we go. Top of the 4th. It's Fred Patek. 67 is a walk. Ace stealing Patek takes off, and he's in there. Do we get a T rating for Mr. Grody? No, we do not. Walt Williams, 45, short X. This is Mr. Campaneris, a 2E19. Nice glove for Bert. Makes the play. Ron Woods, 44, strikes out, and with 2 outs, it's McCarver, 2-5, first. Bottom of the 4th, it's Rico Petroselli, 38's a K. Jerry Grody to the max, flies left, and Johnny Jeter, 5'11", left X. Out in left field, you got Tovar, 3-6. That's a double. with 2 outs. And Hal Lanier, 2-8. That's a single dot for Hal Lanier, a .214 hitting member of the New York Yankees in 1972. We got a 3-0 game. Ron, I'm going to get you on a Swoboda China. 39 is a strikeout. You'll notice in the logos here, the Nova Scotia team has this, lighthouse on the Atlantic provinces to prevent, ships crashing on the rocks. Rhode Island Ridgebacks is their, get it? Did you get it? Really? Ridgebacks, Rhode Island Ridgebacks, and that's what we have here. He's relaxing, chilling, watching the game on the sofa with all of you. Okay, enough of that. 3-0 game, top of the 5th. It is Lee May, 69, base hit. Stevie Ray Braun, 2-5, homer, 1 double, 2-bagger. Lee May stays at third. Second and third, split off with a little bit of difficulty for the first time. Was throwing a 1-hitter, not anymore. It's Tovar, and they got to bring the infield up for the A-bunter. 49, and Tovar cracks one. It's triple, 1-13 off the split off. Suddenly defeatable card. It's a 3-base hit, and suddenly the tie runs at third base for Paul Jada. Infield comes up. Jada, the next hit is a base hit. We're all tied up as Splittorf. Comes unglued in the 5th. Uncharacteristically here. 3-3 tie, nobody out, man at first. And Rhode Island, that great fortune to come back in this series, is looking dimmer now. Back up top to Mike Andrews. 57's a K. Freddie, high-tech, Pytech, 64. Third X. This is Petroselli, a 2E14 third baseman. And it's a GBA. That ends the threat. They tie it up, though. It's 3-3. Bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification. All right. Bottom of the 5th, 3-3 tie. They have to regroup, come back, or they're going to be going home, play with their dogs. Campaneris, 47 off of McNally, is a K. Pete Rose, 2-8 short. Tommy Harper, 64. Center X. Walt Williams, a 4-3 in center. This will probably reach, it is a double. And Yastrzemski with 2 outs. Single 1-17. Gets it on the corners. 2 outs for Rico Petroselli, who walks, and the bases are loaded. 2 outs for Jerry Grody to the max. 1-6 is a liner to third. Well, McNally and Splittorf both have the 4 templates. That's a 410 homer template. And you'll see one of the cards at the end of the video. So it kind of shows you how close Splittorf is to chasing McNally for star power there. You could argue Splittorf a little bit better than McNally, actually. We go to the 6th. It is Walt Williams leading off. 1-6, grounds are short. Ron Woods, 37, is a K. Emma Carver, 45, walks. Lee May, 59, flies to right field. Both pitchers starter 7s. Bullpens are not particularly great in this little tournament, just not enough talent to go around. So if you're a starter 7 or 8, you're probably going to be left in there, for better or for worse. John Jeter, 38, is a base hit. Hal Lanier, 5-10, triple 1-9, double is a 2-base hit for Hal Lanier. Hal freaking Lanier, 2 for 3. Jeter's a 16 runner. He's going to run and try and get this run in now, and he does. It's 4-3. Runner at second for Swoboda China. 36 is a walk. 2 on as McNally comes unglued. Campaneris, 45 Ks. Pete Rose, 35, base hit, and they're all over McNally in the 6th. On the corners, 1 out, they'll bring it up for Tommy Harper. Hit by the pitch, and oh my, there's a glare. Come on, guys. Really? You're going to glare at each other and attempt to charge the mound? It's freaking spring training. Pizza. Spring training, guys, come on. All right, settle down. Tempers got a little hostile there, McNally. A little wild. Plunks Harper. Got the bases loaded, 1 out. They're still going to keep it up for Yastrzemski. You know, McNally's just getting his innings in, right? It's spring training, so it's not like his ERA he cares too much about. 65 is fly ball left C, a little too shallow, or perhaps Swoboda China was just dogging it at third base, not wanting to pull a hamstring. Who knows? Anyway, bases loaded, 2 outs to Rico Petrocelli. 67 is a line out. So the old Pro McNally rallies at the end of the game, the last 2 outs with the bases loaded. Still a very winnable comeback game. It is 5-3. We go to the 7th. We'll protect Splittor. If he puts a couple guys on, we'll give him the quick hook there. Don't want him to lose. Stevie Ray Braun, 2-7 single. Tovar, 48, double 1-3, single dot dot, and there we go. That didn't last long. And yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna hook Mr. Splittorf after 6 innings and 2 batters, trying to protect a 5-3 lead. A few decent pieces in the bullpen, one of which you want to test out, and that is Danny Frisella. Danny Frisella, member of the Mets, would go later to the Padres. Nice little career in the bullpen. Frisella comes on in with 2 on and nobody out. He'll face Paul Jada. 2-5 is a single to left field, and Braun, down 2 runs in the 7th, is just going to camp out at third base. I'm going to run out of the inning. Bases loaded, nobody out. Mike Andrews, batting average is low, but he draws a lot of walks. Bases loaded walk will cut it to 1. Bringing the infield up, it'll be Mike Andrews, Danny Frisella. 35 with the infield up. It's a 6-2-3 double play. How about that, folks? So now you got runners at first and second with 2 outs. Excuse me, second and third with 2 outs. After the infield up double play, second and third, 2 outs, and it's Fred Patek. 43, first X. Yastrzemski's a 2E15 at first, and he makes the play. Bottom of the 7th, they don't score. Stretch time here. We've been listening to translators. Best of Translator, Everywhere That We Were, featuring a big hit. Everywhere That I'm Not. They're from the 1980s. And yeah, pretty good stuff from, I think they're from West Coast somewhere. Anyway, nice record. This is a compilation, the best of Translator. Everywhere That I'm Not, you're in Nova Scotia, but I'm not. And that's kind of why we picked this band for this team, Nova Scotia, Halifax. Okay. Back to the game. Bottom of the 7th, Dave McNally. Now, I could take him out. He might just tap. Yeah, he's going to tap out and say, I got my work done. I got all sweaty. Got to change my sweatpants. I'm good enough. I don't really care about winning or losing. So the visitors will send Steve Renko out there in the 7th. His card is up. I believe he's got a bad 72. Yeah, this one. The card we're using for Renko is not particularly good. It's got a 5.20 ERA with a 1-win and 10-loss record. But he's got a better year in 73, and that's what they're probably selecting in the draft. Jerry Grody leads off. 48 is a walk. Johnny Jeter, 2.8 a K. Hal Lanier, 2.8 a K. And back up top to Mr. Swoboda, 2-9, grounds short. Not a bad inning for Renko after the walk. Frisella, trying to protect a 5-3 lead and get a victory for the home team, will continue. It'll be Walt Williams. 49, single 1-17, and he gets a 17. Base hit for beast-stealing Williams being held for Ron Woods. 6-10, Ron Woods has power, automatic off the Frisella card. It is gone, and we're tied at 5. Oh boy, folks. Maybe you guys will be the lucky beneficiaries of an extra inning baseball game. Can you imagine the fun and grandeur and splendor of that? It's 5-5 with nobody out in the top of the 8th, and Splittor will end up with a no decision. Same with McNally, as now Renko and Frisella are the pitchers of record. Tim McCarver, 47's a K. Lee May, 1-4. Sky at the center. With 2 outs, it's Stevie Ray Braun. First X. This is Yastrzemski's a 2E15, and he makes the play. So imagine if they actually did something in the 7th inning, when the bases loaded, nobody out. They could be going for a sweep. But it's still 5-5 in the bottom of the 8th, and Steve Renko is going back out there for another inning. Bert Habaneros, 5-10 K. Pete Rose, by any other name. Left C. In with 2 outs. Tommy Harper. 1-6 to K. After that walk, Ranko dots 6 straight guys here. We go to the 9th of a 5-5 tie. Please don't give me extra innings. We need a pitching change here. We're going to go, don't want to max out these relievers. We're going to go Tom Phoebus in the 9th. Former Oriole. Need to get our eyeballs on Tom Phoebus. He comes on in the 9th inning. He will face Mr. Tovar. 1-9 is a walk. A stealer. And do you take off against the minus? No, you don't. Paul Jada, let this guy swing away. 6'10 Jada, catcher's X. A 2E2. That is Mr. I got a wild pitch on the 2E2. So Jada does get the guy down to second base, or wasn't it his effort that did that? For Mike Andrews, back up top, former White Sox and Red Sox second baseman. 2 7s a strikeout. And Fred Patek Philippe today, 0 for 3, walking a K, and he stole a base. Patek 2-11, pops to third base. Bottom of the 9th, Ranko, he had a couple. Let's pull him. We're going to go to Fred Sherman in the 9th. Go back to a lefty. Fred Sherman, former Tiger Expo, bottom of the 9th of a 5-5 game. He'll be a Yastrzemski. 36 is a walk. Yaz a C stealer. Petroselli, 68. Skies the center. Jerry Grody to the max, 64. Short X. Oh boy, this is Patek at 2E27. Gets a ground ball C. So if you're wondering how this is ruled, when you see when you do not see parentheses, it is the result of the fielding rating. So Patek is indeed a 2 shortstop, so I don't have to plug the E ready in. I can just take the GBC. And that puts the guy in scoring position with 2 outs. For John Jeter, a chance to win the game. 221 hitting San Diego Padre, John Jeter, former member of the Ohio Players in the league. 38 Jeter delivers. It's a single to left field. We got to run Yastrzemski. He's a 14, 15, 16. -1 Armor Tovar. A 15 to end in 9 innings. He rolls a 6 and Yastrzemski scores. And Halifax does indeed win a game where they blew 2 leads. They blew a 3-0 lead and a 5-3 lead. They end up with the last laugh beating Fred Sherman in the bottom of the 9th inning by a score of 6-5. And Tom Phoebus gets the win. So we'll call it for now, and we'll join you at the end of the video with the result of the team that got eliminated and a look at the roster. So stay tuned. Oh well, folks, we have a loser here, and the loser is, yep, Rhode Island. After that victory you saw, they did lose Game 4. They finished 2-7 in the tournament, so we're going to take a look at those cards that lost. For Rhode Island, no Ridgebacks this year. Go for a walk. Give them some kibbles and bits, call Chewy, have it FedEx deliver their food for them. Okay, we have 6 guys that we don't need to learn much of. Jerry Grody, we already have a better card of his in the league. Same with Campaneris for the World Champion 74 team. McAuliffe had a very nice 73, I believe, so we don't use this one. Tommy Harper, we didn't like this card because he doesn't have that utilitarian thingy of him where he can play second, third in the outfield. Yastrzemski actually had, after his monsters 69 and 70, 71 and 72 were just kind of ordinary. You can see it there. So we took a 73 card, and by the way, this guy, Pete Edward Rose, by any other name, was your 1973 National League Most Valuable Player. And here, of course, he's only a 307 hitter. So that explains why these, Hall of Famer All-Stars are not in the Summer League. Now we want to do some evaluating of the next 7 keepers. Petroselli probably would be this card. As a 2 third baseman, still will pop. Again, a big drop off from 69, but what can you expect? 69 was ridiculous. A 2 shortstop with 40 home runs. Now you have Tom Murphy, and Minnesota has his rights. They're going to switch him into the bullpen, I believe with a 74 card. Ngori left Cleveland and Kansas City, was traded in the offseason to Houston. They desperately needed some left-handed help. He's actually not particularly fantastic here, coming off of a 171 ERA in 71. The ERA isn't too bad, but he's got better cards in future years. This is what Danny Frizella usually does. A righty who gets lefties out. And he does. Would do it with the Mets. Here he's still doing it with the Mets. Eventually does it with the Padres. Probably take this one. A lot of pitchers on this keeper list. Frank Lindsay, the Dodgers got him in an offseason deal to be a righty who gets righties out in the bullpen. He's okay for that card. Splittorf, traded back to Kansas City. Well, the way this worked is Toronto selected Splittorf in the expansion draft, and then the Royals eventually came knocking and said, hey, you want our guy back? I mean, Splittorf's a lifetime Royal. So they made a deal. The Royals acquired Clyde Wright from the Angels for Richie Scheinblum and Paul Shaw, and they dealt him straight to the Blue Jays to get Splittorf back. This is a good year for Splittorf. He's got a 20-win season in here as well, I think in 73. And Mr. Skip Lockwood, believe it or not, the Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Skippers, Skipjacks, they selected him in the expansion draft. He actually pitched on 3 days rest in 71 and went to the All-Star game representing the Seattle team. Interestingly, Milwaukee Brewers were the Seattle Pilots, by the way. But in any event, that's Lockwood. But the thing is, Lockwood switches over to reliever and has a fantastic 75. The 4 waiver guys didn't look very special. And again, these are wavered, their own waivers for a reason. Dalton Jones has this 1 year left. Hal Lanier, probably a year or 2 left. Utility infielder, but an ability to at least hit a little bit against lefties. I really wish he could at least bunt or hit and run too, but he doesn't. John Jeter. Now, this is an interesting card. At 2-2 in center, my eyes perk up immediately. A beast stealer, power both ways, a 16 runner. You know, this is fantastic, folks. Again, he doesn't hit very well. He's a 221 hitter. But, man, I think he can get into the league somehow. You know, a team that has the luxury of just wanting a defensive replacement in center field for the late innings, a little bit of speed, pinch runner. So I'm not writing the book on John Jeter, not making it. And Swoboda China, oh, he'll get some play. Ron, I'm going to get you on a Swoboda China. We'll get some play. He always did this against lefties. Tons of walk, has power. All you want is this platoon. We don't care about that. He's never going to swing over there. And for a corner outfielder, he'll make a platoon somewhere with a 248 average. We had 3 free agents. Jerry Moses was in the league with a 70 card. He had a monster 1970. 71, he did not, so he has to come back in. Has plenty of power over there. We gave him a 0 arm. Could make it because of the power. Tom Phoebus and Jim Harden's best years were in Baltimore in the late 60s, and they're just guys now, you like to say. Just a guy. ERAs aren't too bad. They could turn up anywhere, if they turn up at all. And that is the official elimination of the Rhode Island Ridgebacks Baseball Club in the Winter Baseball Classic. I don't know exactly why we picked that logo. Are there any mountains in Rhode Island? I don't think there are. But, you know, you could just build a mound of... I don't know why we actually selected that for Rhode Island, but we did. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.